I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here, hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have some relatively breaking Mandalorian news. We're gonna hop right on into it, taking a read from the direct article. As it reads, Pedro Pascal reignites the Mandalorian movie possibilities. Pedro Pascal being, well, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. As the article continues, even though Star Wars Celebration and the 2022 D23 Expo have both come and gone, Star Wars still has no answers as to when that galaxy far, far away will return to the big screen in theaters. While movies helmed by Kevin Feige, Taika Waititi, and Rian Johnson are all supposedly still in the works, current Star Wars storytelling appears to be on Disney+, with Andor, The Mandalorian, and Ahsoka set to take the center stage in the coming weeks and into 2023. Of all three of these live-action shows, the ongoing story that Star Wars fans and films once offered exists in The Mandalorian, and will continue in with the Ahsoka show and The Book of Boba Fett, both of which are overseen by all Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Since Lucasfilm has yet to fill Star Wars' absences at the box office, some are now wondering if Mando's destiny extends beyond Disney Plus and possibly into the theaters. Something that the article mentions in its title is that these are rumors and possibilities being reignited. A couple months ago at that, there were possibilities, rumors, talks, theories, and speculations, really just hopes and dreams of the various Star Wars fans like you and I that wanted a Mandalorian movie to see in theaters that would conclude the entirety of the Mandoverse, even though it'd be really quite far out. As the article continues to say, Pedro Pascal comments on the Mandalorian movie and those possibilities. When Fandango.com asked both Rick Famuyiwa, my apologies if I mispronounced his last name there, he is the director and some of the producers for various Mandalorian episodes in the Mandoverse, and also talking with series star Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian, about the possibilities ending the Mandalorian with a film. The director played it safe, while Pascal acknowledged that it's a great idea. And according to Rick, the director, a Mando movie is something that he doesn't know anything about. In that full quote, he says, "I have no. You're coming at us hard. Yeah, that's something I don't know anything about," ending the quote right there. However, on the flip side of that, Pedro Pascal has something completely in the opposite of to say something about that. As the article reads, in addition to noting that the question was a good one, Pedro Pascal had more to share, saying that "I'll answer for him. Yes, he definitely wants to." In that full quote, Pedro Pascal says, "I'll answer for him. Yes, he wants to. Yes, he wants to." And that's a great idea. And if it isn't a conversation already, then it will be after today, ending the quote right there. Interestingly, though enough, this isn't the first time the actor has commented on a Mando's move to the movies. During Star Wars Celebration in May 2022, Pedro Pascal confessed that The Mandalorian on the big screen may be inevitable, despite him having no idea about how and when that might happen. That all being said, is the Mandalorian movie Lucasfilm's Endgame in those types of terms and conditions, comparing Avengers Endgame to the end of a saga or the end of an era in those terms. As the article reads, as the Mandoverse began to take shape with additional seasons of the breakout series, followed by the Book of Boba Fett, and now the Ahsoka show, and continuing on with Rangers of the New Republic to also be announced alongside with the Ahsoka show. However, that one we haven't heard anything about and is supposedly cancelled and put on shelves. We also have Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which is also being talked about to be taking place alongside with the Mandoverse and interweaving and connecting to those shows as well, which we had our first look at D23. I have it covered here on the channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Apparently, filming has already wrapped and finished for Star Wars Skeleton Crew as well at that as well. So that would be possibly potentially coming in the year of 2023 as well at the rate it's going. And now from there, I digress. The article continues to talk about, while it's true that crossovers have been happening on Disney Plus for a while now, Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka and Boba Fett and all that stuff, they don't appear to be the event the studio once alluded to. Therefore, given the history these characters are building with one another, their stories could eventually culminate to a shared tale worthy of a theatrical experience, a movie. While fans would love it, it appears that Pedro Pascal would as well. And even though neither he nor Rick, the director, gave anything away, well, Pedro Pascal did a little bit, the fact that they are very careful in their responses suggests that there may be something they were trying to avoid. And that just maybe, the creators, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, would have something in the Endgame aligned planned. Earlier today, at the time of recording and publishing this video, video, I came out with a Mandalorian news update video talking about the potential of an endgame scenario. What does it look like for the Mandoverse in its future seasons? This is something that Katie Sackhoff, Bo-Katan's actress, had teased at and talked about. Go check that video out as well if you haven't already. As the article continues to talk about, if this is the case that there would be a Mandalorian movie, this could explain why Lucasfilm and Disney have yet to confirm Taika Waititi, Rian Johnson, or Kevin Feige's previously announced films, giving us something, an update, rather, as the studio wants to focus to remain the story it's building currently on Disney Plus, with the entirety of the Mandoverse, plus some of those other side shows, Tales of the Jedi, The Bad Batch, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor. As to whom would direct the Mandalorian movie, fans naturally would have a few candidates in mind, with one of the top choices being Jurassic World star and producer of very many episodes of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett as well, Star Wars Disney Plus director, the one and only Bryce Dallas Howard. And of course, on top of that would be Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau on the case as well. I think it's just a given that they would be on set and working with it, writing it, directing it, producing it, all that type of stuff. As the article continues to say, in fact, Bryce Dallas Howard seems willing to take it on as a job, as when asked about her interest in directing a potential Star Wars movie, she admitted it would take someone asking me. Of course, another option may be Rick, the director I had mentioned earlier. I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce his last name because it's embarrassing. I don't want to mess up, especially since he was in attendance at the D23 Expo, and according to Pedro Pascal, wants to direct such a film. Hopefully, Lucasfilm's intentions and Pedro Pascal's comments will become more clear following the release of Season 3 of The Mandalorian and the Ahsoka show next year as well. From there, that's where the article ends, and as I had mentioned, I have the full article linked down in the description down below for you guys to check out as well. I would also like to mention there's the entirety of the possibility that Disney's Investors Day is coming up in December, and there have been loads of new announcements, not current, I guess, things that have been going on, such as an update on The Bad Batch Season 2 or something for The Mandalorian Season 3, just entirely new titles and projects, stuff we've never heard of, and of course, hence the name of Disney's Investors Day. This is in an effort to invest fans and other producers, directors, writers alike into the overall Disney business. And so while maybe a potential Mandalorian movie wouldn't have to necessarily be the endgame of entirety of The Mandalorian and the Mandoverse on Disney Plus, it could be rather a point, like the first Avengers movie rather, and that it could spark the ignition of having Star Wars movies coming back into theaters, giving us another update for maybe Taika Waititi's movie, or Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy, or Kevin Feige's potential Star Wars movie as well. However, I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'd absolutely love to hear what you guys all think. What do you guys want to see here with the future of the Mandoverse? If you want to have a Mandalorian movie, what do you think would happen in it? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as it really does help the channel, and check out Instagram on official Star Wars from our Star Wars related content, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. As always, may the Force be with you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Peace out.